Hello, everybody. Welcome to Entrepreneurs International Network, our weekly special guest training call. We've got a very, very special guest here today, which I'll get into in a moment. But before I do that, let me introduce myself. If you haven't seen me on here before, my name is Robert Evans. I'm co-founder of a technology company called Actionera. And Actionera is the parent company of Entrepreneur International Network, or EIN, as we like to keep it simple and short. Every Tuesday, we bring industry leaders and experts onto this call for entrepreneurs to learn in all areas of entrepreneurship and marketing and personal development, you name it, anything that would improve your lives, improve your business, and such. And most of the time, I host these calls, and sometimes the guest that's here today hosts these calls. So I'm really excited to bring this person on, and I'm just going to add him into the spotlight right now, so that we're both here. Uh, for those of you who don't know, this gentleman here, Iman Aghay, is my partner in Actionera. We're actually wearing branded shirts today, right, Iman? You got your branded sweatshirt on? Okay, well, good. We're co-founders of Actionera, but long before Actionera was created and we became partners, Entrepreneurs International Network was formed by this gentleman here. Started in where he lives up in Vancouver, BC, and spread all across the world to many different locations across the planet, and tens of thousands of entrepreneurs that are part of this group. So EIN exists today because of Iman. So the fact that he's here today to share his wisdom with us and his knowledge is really kind of special here. So what I want to do before I bring him on, I'm gonna read the official bio, and then give you my little 2 cents of my how I see this gentleman, and then we'll bring him on, and he can start sharing. So Iman Aghay is a serial entrepreneur, international speaker, and nine-time #1 best-selling author. He is best known known as the co-founder of Actionera, a platform that assists experts in building mobile apps to enhance their income and impact. Iman has developed more than 150 online courses for coaches, authors, speakers, and program leaders, and has presented at over 1,000 live and virtual stages. As the leader's mentor, Iman's focus is serving his clients and community with the utmost excellence and integrity. His vision of having a massive positive impact on 100 million people has fueled his love and passion for guiding entrepreneurs to success. Now, that's amazing, isn't it? And my personal thing that I want to say about Iman, because I always like to put in my own personal thoughts about the people that are here, because I know them all, is before Iman was my business partner, he was someone that I looked up. I've been in this industry of author, speaker, coaches industry for 24, almost 25 years now. And when I first met him on and saw him teaching and guiding and giving his generosity of his wisdom to entrepreneurs on stages, and I've saw him a couple times in live events, I was absolutely blown away by his integrity, his knowledge, and his generosity in providing guidance for us to be more successful in our businesses, especially being successful in a business that has a positive impact in people's lives. And the fact that I'm his business partner today in Actionera is kind of literally a pinch me moment, because I feel very honored to be his partner and to be doing this work with him. So I'm very honored here today to bring him into this room with all of you, for him to share his thoughts. And this talk is title is Attract More Clients by Simplifying Your Marketing, which I know from working with a lot of people need that. So without any further delay, let me introduce you all to the amazing Iman Aghay. Hey, Iman, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much, Robert, for such a great introduction. And I'm excited to be here with every single one of you and talking about marketing and how to simplify the marketing structure we as entrepreneurs have a tendency of complicating the crap out of everything. And usually people just give us a simple thing, and then we're like, well, how can we put systems around it? And 2 days later, we have this complicated thing that we don't even know where to start and or what to do, or we get overwhelmed with all the exciting things that all marketers talk about. I'm pretty sure all of you have that experience, that you go to an event and somebody talks about something and you get excited and you're like, oh my God, like that's the best idea in the world. And then next thing you know, you're starting this strategy and that strategy and the other strategy. And, and a long story short, then we have like all these 500 pieces that we need to do in the business. And then we end up not really doing any of them, and or being overwhelmed with all the number of things that need to get done. And then you talk to someone and they say, I only do 3 things, and I'm making $500,000, $1 million, $2 million with doing those 3 things. And you're like, how? Like how, right? And so what we're going to talk about today is really looking at what is really needed for marketing. Over the past few years, I've ended up building several companies to 7 figures, and many of them with being super focused on very few activities, and then we expanded them based on those very few activities. Now, of course, as the time that we were building them, we had a lot of things, but then we started simplifying the process, and it always boils down to very few activities. So today we want to talk about those. We can boil it down to a few activities for you in your business, and then where to start, and then we take it from there. Would that sound good to everyone? That we just boil down the entire complicated business structure to very few simple things, and then say like, okay, well, spend 2 to 5 hours a week on this activity, and then let the rest of it take care of itself, and then we just take it from there. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole idea of today. And then I have a gift for every one of you at the end of this call, which is an invitation to our upcoming event called Collaborate. And I'm going to explain why and the importance of that event. I say gift, it's going to be a $1 charge payment for it, just because the way that the funnel works, it just charges $1. So I'm going to have a $1 gift for you, and I'm going to explain why it's important and how it can help you with the process, if it makes sense to you, the piece that we want to talk about. Okay, so that's pretty much the introduction of me saying hi. So Robert, back to you.
Yeah, awesome. So, when you talk about simplifying things, I got to personally tell you that I get really excited about simplification. And one of the things that I've noticed over the years in working with a lot of online marketers, people that want to get their message out online, is that they tend to kind of hop from this thing to this thing to this thing because they're attending this event, and this event, and each thing has something new and something different for them to try. And it's that shiny object syndrome that a lot of people go through, and I'm one of them too. So talk about how you kind of scale that down and start making choices that really gets you into that simplified, hey, I've got this one thing or these 2 things that I'm going to put the 4 or 5 hours a week into that will produce results. What does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing I actually want everybody pay attention to this. This is very important. One of the biggest things that simplifies your life is not reacting to excitement, but acting on your plan. Many times, here's the one thing: marketers are really good at making you excited. Like, they're really good at making you excited. So when you go to an event, when you go to a seminar, when you watch something online, they are really, really good at giving you ideas that is going to be mind blowing, and it's like, oh my God, this is going to change my entire life, right? and then set you on a path that that is new to you. And the issue with that is that sometimes, and majority of times, 99% of times, when we react to getting excited and taking on a new project, what we don't realize is the amount of work that is required to go to that work, and also mastering the skills that are involved with it. Okay, so for example, let's say somebody comes and says, let's do a webinar, and they show you how they're doing webinars where they're generating 6 figures from these webinars. And they say it's 3 simple things: get yourself booked for a webinar, do the webinar, get the money. And you're like, that sounds great, let's do that because it's great, right? Except that what we are lacking there in terms of the understanding of that process is the skills that the length that it takes to acquire the skills for doing that presentation for that webinar, for making that deal, for landing the webinar, right? So if you bring all of that to the picture, you're like, okay, this is going to be a 6-month process to learn and to master. And if we plan this 6 months to dedicate ourselves to this plan, then it's great. And so in the next 6 months, I'm not going to get distracted by somebody else that comes and says, let's do TikTok, let's do Instagram, let's get this AI, create all these pieces of content for you, and let's just make a ton of money. Because of course, that TikTok thing is going to make you money, and that Instagram thing is going to make you money, and that AI thing can make you money. But the time that we tend to skip is that time that we need to acquire skills and implement and benefit from it. So the very first thing that I would say for simplifying the process is not getting too excited about new things before you have finished the previous thing that you are on and are benefiting from it. So one time somebody asked me, Iman, because I was running 3 7-figure companies at that time, and the person said, like, how are you running 3 7-figure companies at the same time? And I said, well, because I did not start the second company until the first company was at 7 figures. I focused until this company was at 7 figures, which the first one took about 7 years, 6 years, till I took it to 7 figures. And then I had a system. And the second one, I took it to 7 figures in only 2 years. And the third one, I took it to 7 figures in 13 months. So how I got there was because I just focused. And even though we had all these distractions, I didn't get distracted with reacting to excitement and reacting to excitement, but focusing on acting on the plan. So if this one thing can actually land, which sounds very simple, you're like, Iman, that's not a secret. Well, guess what? 99% of people don't listen to this. So sometimes some stuff, we share them every day, but they stay a secret, not because it wasn't shared, but because nobody listened to it. And this is one of those secrets that like gets shared every day, and yet nobody listens to it, right? So that's the first part. It's like, have a plan, focus on the plan, don't get distracted with all the excitements that other people just bring to your world.
Hey, I got a question for you, Iman, in that regards. Why do you think people don't do that? What is it that's pulling them back to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing?
The way that our brain works. So in our brain, we have something called the dopamine button. That the moment that dopamine button gets activated, it gives you dopamine, and then we as human beings are hopeful creatures. That's how we survive life. That's how years and years we survived life, like for generations, right? So we always think the thing that we don't have, the things that we're not doing, is the answer to the problem. So because the thing that we're not doing looks simple, But the things that we do, we understand all the logistical details and logistical problems, which then lead to, well, you're dealing with all these problems. And so you don't want the problems. But the thing that you haven't started doesn't have any problems, right? Because you're not doing it. So that's technically why the combination of dopamine and the perception of ease in something that we don't do is always the thing. But many years ago, because here's the thing. Also, I'm a curious person. I'm a person who gets excited and does weird things, right? So in 2012, 2013, I realized that that's my biggest nemesis. And that's why at that time I had never built a seven-figure company. And then I realized that you actually succeed in the business when things get boring. Like if you can get your marketing process to a simple, boring, repetitive process, then you can scale it. Then you can train team members. Then you can automate it. Then you can make a ton of money and make a ton of impact. But as long as you are waking up every day, building new systems, working on all of these things, and we hide ourselves from being in front of people, we won't make money, but our brain is excited. And so every day we're like, oh, I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward. We're great. You're moving forward, but toward what? Right? What if you would wake up every day and you're like, a couple of hours a day, every day, I need to do these things. And that leads to that thing that already exists. And that leads to that thing that already exists. And I make money and an impact. Right? And that's the part that that as creators, especially like I'm a creator, I'm a person that wants to always be in excitement. But also that those are not the most profitable things. Actually, some of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world are the people that have very few skills. Like literally, you just talk to them and they have like 3 skills. But they do those 3 skills really, really well. Or they have 2 skills, but they're doing those 2 skills over and over and over and over. You know, I had a friend of mine who was selling a course, and they were generating about $50,000 to $100,000 a month with about $5,000 in expenses. So they were making about 45K to 95K profit every single month. And when I would talk to him, I was like, hey, tell me about like your process. And he was like, we just have an ad. That ad goes to an application, and I just know how to make the sales call to that application and sell this one package. And I'm like, so why don't you do this? It's like, I have no idea how to do it. And I'm like, why don't you do this? It's, I have no idea how to do it. Like the guy had absolutely no idea about some of the most basic things, but he just knew how to run the ad and how to have the sales call. And that was the only 2 things he knew. And he was making 45K to 95K profit every year, every month. Right? So and that's the thing. Like sometimes like we hear that and we're like, huh, actually it can be that simple. But then we get into the mindset of like, I need to do all these things, and then that's the time that we complicate the process, right? So that's one thing. Now let's talk about simplifying the process, right? Let's talk about simplifying the process. So number 1, the first step, don't complicate the process. Number 2, understand that every marketing system requires a source of traffic, a conversion system, and an offer. Okay? Any marketing system requires these 3 pieces: a source of traffic, a conversion system, and an offer. So whenever I talk to people, I always ask them, and whenever I build a company myself, that's the first thing I focus is like, okay, so these are the 3 pieces that we need. And first I start with the offer. Okay. What's the thing that we want to offer? And usually for that offer, I want us to have an offer between $500 to $2,500 and a higher end offer, a more than $5,000 priced offer. So 5K, 10K, 15K, 25K offer. Okay. So why do I want a $500 to $2,500 offer? And why do I want a 5K plus offer? The reason I want a $500 to $2,500 offer is because majority of the places that joint venture partners, and I'm going to explain the importance of joint venture partners in a few minutes, but the majority of partners that want to promote you, especially if they are joint venture partners, they want you to have a $500 to $2,500 offer. So that's the one thing that I first make sure that we finalize. Is like, is there anything that we can sell in this company that is anywhere between $500 to $2,500? And then, do we have a higher end service at $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 price where we can deliver that service, we can serve the customers with excellence, and also is profitable for us? So the first offer, the $500 to $2,500 offer, is to get the qualified customers to the system. And the second offer is to offer people something that is of very high quality and also makes the company profitable. Is everybody with me on that? Do you follow that? So the two offers that you want to do very quickly, you want to figure out, are the offers that can allow you to get in front of customers, and people are okay with you putting you in front of the customers that way. And the second offer is the offer that helps you to become very profitable very fast. Okay? Now, that's the first thing. Have two simplified offers. Now, can I explain something? Can I share something with everyone here, like a little bit of behind the scene here? Last July, Robert and I bought a company that when we bought it, it had 515 products, 515 products, and 7 levels of membership. And the company wasn't profitable. Let it sink in for a few seconds. 515 products, 7 levels of membership, and this company wasn't profitable. When we bought the company, I started talking to the team members. Even the team members couldn't explain what they were selling. It was so complicated what they were selling, right? And the very first thing that I did, I went and got rid of 515 products and 5 levels of membership that they had, put all the products into one level of membership for $1,000 a year, and added another $500 a month or $5,000 a year higher end package. That's it. 2 levels of membership. $1,000 a year or $5,000 a year. And suddenly, all the people that were being referred to this business started making sense of the offers. They are like, if I'm this person, this $1,000 product is good for me. If I'm this person, this $5,000 offer is good for me. The confusion went away. The company, in literally 2 months, started being profitable. Now, here is another piece to that. Because everything got so simplified, we didn't need as big of a team as the company had before we bought it. We literally, the company went to 20% of the team members that it needed. Much simpler business model, much simpler product, and suddenly became profitable. So number one, have a way to have an offer that you can get yourself in front of people and you can offer them right away they want to buy it. We call it an irresistible offer. build an irresistible offer and build a premium offer. An irresistible offer is an offer that is easy to understand, easy to offer. People want it, they want to join, and of course have a premium offer that that you can serve people with excellence and charge them accordingly for it. Okay. If you're with me, go to the chat box. I'm with you. I want to make sure that everybody is awake. Okay. If you're with me, let's go to the chat box. I'm with you. So that's the first piece, right? Now, the second piece is, as I said, a marketing system has three pieces. One is the offer, right? One is conversion system, and one is traffic. So let's talk about this conversion system. What's a conversion system? Well, the conversion system is one system that you are going to use for people to buy your product. That conversion system can be as simple as a phone conversation. It can be as simple as having a sales page where you are sending people to that sales page after a webinar. So it can be a webinar that leads people to a sales page, right? Or it can be a very complicated product launch funnel. Okay? Or it can be any of those things. It can be any of those things. But select one that works the best for you. Now, here is one thing. I personally prefer, if I'm starting with something that's brand new, I've never done before, I get on the call with the clients. Now, people get scared of saying that. Like I always say, like, I want to get on the call with people. And people say, Iman, what if the company expands and you need to do 1,000 calls a day? I'm like, well, then we hire people. Then we don't do it that way. But at the beginning of a business, I want to get on the call with people. You know why? Because I want to get on the call to understand what it is they are looking for, so we can build the things they are looking for into the offer. We want to improve the offer. We want to understand. And the way you improve the offer is by understanding the clients. Many times I talk to people who want to get started in business, but they do not want to talk to people. And I'm like, why? If you don't talk to your customers, you're not going to know what they want. If you don't know what they want, you can't offer them the thing they want to buy. The offers that you are providing to people need to be good, need to be irresistible, need to solve a problem they have. And so for that reason, you want to get on the call. And sometimes people say, but Iman, I'm not a good salesperson. Well, guess what? I'm not a good salesperson either. But there is one piece to it. I highly believe in something called a match. We are providing a service that has a very high value for the right match person. The service that you offer provides a ton of value to people, doesn't it? So if you offer this to someone that can really benefit from it, it can solve a lot of problems they are having today. So when I get on a call with people, I'm not thinking like, oh, I need to convince you to buy this. I know what I offer has a ton of value. And so I want to share with you the value that we offer. And I want to understand the needs you have. And if it's a good match, then great, you're a great customer. And if it's not a good match, then you're not a great customer. Either it's a good match or it's not a good match. And when you get on a call, when you get on a conversation with people from that point of view, from that mindset, it just changes everything. Because you don't look at yourself, I'm a salesperson. You look at yourself, is that I'm looking for people that this product is a good match for them. We provide great service. Actually, this morning, somebody was asking me a question about one of our services. I just simply responded to him that I don't think this product is a good match for you. Not that I didn't like the person, it just isn't a good match for them. If it's not a good match, it's not a good match. And if it's a good match, it's a great match. Do you follow that? Does that make sense? Does that mindset help you with reframing the sales conversation. It's a match conversation, not me trying to convince you to buy as much as I like whatever I sell. If that makes sense to you, go to the chat box, say that makes sense, or I'm with you. Right? So now what we are looking at is this. We have this second piece to these three pieces, right? We have the offer. We know what we are selling. We have a way to convert them. And personally, initially in a business, I always choose conversations with people. So the third thing we want is a source of traffic. What's the source of traffic to find people to have that conversation with them, so then we can have that offer sold? Does this make sense? So now for me, usually I go with joint venture partners and collaborations for the third one, for the traffic. So what do I mean by joint venture partners and collaborations? This is what I mean. There are lots of podcasts out there that are looking for experts that can help their audience members to overcome challenges that they are facing. There are lots of summits out there that are looking for speakers that can talk about the challenges that their audiences are facing and provide solutions to them. There are lots of stages, events, conferences that are looking for speakers. There are lots of experts out there that are providing services that my service can be complementary to their service. So what do? Every week, I make sure that I spend 2 to 5 hours a week finding podcasts, summits, giveaways, stages, conferences, as well as experts who are in my world, and land those speaking opportunities or get on a collaboration opportunity exploration call. Collaboration opportunity exploration call. Okay? So what does that look like? For example, in one of our companies, we have a company called Next Gen Collaboration Circle, right? So Next Gen Collaboration Circle is a community where we are providing the listings of all the upcoming summits and podcasts and events and seminars and conferences, right? And we have these collaboration networks for people to connect with one another. So what I do is that I know that if there is any speaker coach out there, they want to teach their students how to land the stages. So every week, I'm looking for speaking coaches to get on the call with them, tell them about our service, hear them about their service, and see how we can collaborate with each other. Because we have a lot of members who want to learn how to become a public speaker, and they have a lot of members who want to land the stages. Make sense? So we get on a call and we share our businesses with each other, and we see how we can support each other. Can I have them at EIN to present here, and in return, they have me in their business to promote my product, right? Or there are lots of podcasters that are looking for people that are experts, right? So I look for all of these podcasts that are looking for guests and apply to be the guest on their podcast. All of these podcasts have 50, 100, 200, 500, 10,000 downloads per episode. So if I get on the podcast and I share my story and share what we do, and then at the end of it, I invite people to book a call with me. Now I'm attracting people to this very simple place, and then from there to the offer. Does that make sense? three things: traffic, conversion system, offer. So my question for you is this: is your offer ready? Is your offer ready? Do you have an offer that if you get on a sales call with a person, or if you send them to a sales page, right? Do you have that offer? Do you know what it is that you are selling? Do you have your packages ready? If you don't have your packages ready, that's your step one to do. Prepare your package. Prepare your offer. So that's the step one. Step two, if your offer is ready, do you have a conversion system that you can immediately start using? And the easiest one is a sales call. And of course, after that, you can have webinar funnels. You can even have 3-day events. You can have so many different ways of doing it, right? But the immediate one, like literally every single one of us today can start getting on the phone with people and having conversation with them about their product. As long as the product is ready, as long as the offer is ready. And if you have a conversion system ready, then are you working on getting your traffic source every single week? Every single week. Now, let me put this in perspective just for today alone. Just since morning today till now, I've been able to land 2 stages and 1 podcast. 2 stages and 1 podcast. Okay, so do you think speaking on 2 stages and 1 podcast would help me to invite people to come to our event, to come to our webinar, to download our gift, to get all of those things? Do you think that will help me with expanding the business? Now, what if every single week, the number one thing that I need to do is just spend 2 to 5 hours a week just finding these speaking opportunities, and that's the only thing I need to do? Sometimes people will say, Iman, I'm not good with social media. I'm not good with social media either. Guess what? 0 of our business comes from social media. 0 of our business comes from social media. I'm not good at running ads. We don't run ads at all. The reality is that we have wasted $500,000 in running ads. We hired the best of the best of the best funnel builders in the world and ad people in the world to run our ads. $500,000 later, we have not made a single dollar from ads that are profitable. I mean, we made some money, but we spent $500,000. I made like 20K maybe, right? But nothing that was profit. So how do we run our business? Collaborations. Collaborations. We get on calls, seminars, podcasts, events. We educate. We invite people to our downloadable gifts, to our events, to our summits, to our phone calls, and we change people's lives. We offer the products and services that help people in a massive way, and we get paid accordingly. Does that make it simple for you? If that makes it simple for you, go to the chat box and say, yeah, that sounds simple, right? Go to the chat box and give me that sounds simple. No? So here's the thing. As I said, we as entrepreneurs have a tendency of complicating the crap out of everything. And yet, when you look at it, you're like, actually, it doesn't need to be that complicated at all. So here's the thing. You have a step-by-step action plan now. Do you have your offer? Do you have your offer? Do you have an offer that if you get on the phone with people, you can invite them to work with you? If you don't, that's your step one. Step one, build an offer that can help you to sell your products and services. Number two, if you have an offer, but you don't have a conversion system, immediately set up a calendar link where you can get people to book a call to buy from you. That's the easiest thing anyone can do right now, right this second. And as you build that, then later on, you may want to do webinars. Maybe later on, you want to do all the other type of things, right? And number three, if you have already, if I mean, like the second part, the step two is very simple, right? So you can easily set up that calendar link. And step three, go to events where they allow you to network with others, where you can find all these speaking and collaboration opportunities. Those events are called JV Summits. JV Summits, also short as Joint Venture Summits, right? So where you want to get yourself to is joint venture summits. So you want to go to these events where you are connecting with all other people that are interested in doing collaborations. Because here's the thing, like sometimes we go to an event that is entirely based on teaching us content. The problem with that is that there's not enough networking opportunities. And the other issue is that many people are not interested in collaborations. But when you go to an event that is based on collaboration and everybody who comes there for collaboration, it's much, much easier. Like, for example, a couple of weeks ago, I came back from Marketers Cruise, which is a JV summit where we get together to find collaborators, right? And I get access to the directory of all the people who were attending, and we are contacting each other, and we are setting up all these collaboration deals. Okay. Now, one of the best JV summits in the world is an event called Collaborate. Okay. Collaborate is an event that we have been hosting since 2020 that is built based on an event called JVX, which started in 2013. It's one of the most prominent JV summits in the world. Normally, a VIP ticket to that event is $47. It's a virtual event, but as I said at the beginning of this, I'm going to give you a $1 gift. I know it's a $1 thing, right? But I'm going to give you a $1 gift because our members, the members of our community, can get a VIP ticket for only $1. So I'm going to give you a member VIP ticket as a gift. You got to pay the dollar, but that will help you to get on an event where we are going to have the host of summits, events, conferences, people that are coming there for collaborations. That event is virtual and is this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time. During the event, we teach how to build collaboration deals, what to say on the calls, what to do. Like we teach all these little things, as well as we give you an opportunity to network with everybody else. You get access to the directory of events. We give you feedback on your offers. We give you a one-on-one coach that will talk to you about your packages and all of those type of things to help you with your business, right? And again, like all of that for only $1. And so I put a link for you in the chat box to come and join us for Collaborate, but come and hang out with us at that event. And It will teach you a lot. It will give you amazing opportunities. I mean, we have had people who walked away from this event with being booked on 10 podcasts and events and speaking opportunities. And again, don't think that you need to be a world-class speaker to do any of these things. Like, I mean, like today, the presentation, what I shared with you, I didn't use any PowerPoint. I just sat here, Robert asked me a few questions, and I just simply shared it with you, right? So it's as simple as that. Sometimes people get very overwhelmed. It's like, well, I'm not a speaker. You don't need to be a speaker. I'm just sitting here and like literally share with you very simple facts about the business, but it can massively impact your business in a positive way if you take action on them. It's the same thing for you. Your expertise can massively change people's lives if you share it with people that they need it, and it can help you grow your business, provide a ton of value, change people's lives, and build a successful business for yourself.
Wow. And I'll say something about the Collaborate event. I was participated as a participant in the Collaborate event before it became part of the Action Era world. And the times that I showed up and I played full out, I literally walked away with about 30 to 40 different people that I thought would be good JV partners for me. And are you going to have all 30 or 40 that's going to convert into actual JV deals? No, of course not. But all it takes is just one to massively have an impact on your business as far as building your list and generating traffic and getting people into those sales conversations. So, and you were talking about sales conversation being the thing that you could do right now. I think it's not only the thing that you could do right now without any prep other than throwing up a calendar and telling people to go book a time with you. I also believe it's the most effective way for you to close people and talk to them about what you have to offer. If you can practice and get good at having those sales conversations, which you're going to be the one and only person that's going to do that the best in your business, then you can, create very big success for yourself. So I know a lot of people avoid that, but don't because it works. It works really, really well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Awesome. Does anyone have any questions regarding what I just shared? More than happy to answer any questions regarding that. I'll put the link again for Collaborate ticket here for you in the chat box. So you can get that.
If you want to ask a question through, you can raise your hand and we can unmute you. Or if you want to put your question in the chat, we can do that too.
Okay.
All right.
Since
Excellent.
there's no questions. Awesome. Robert, anything else? Any other questions for me? Roy is asking, okay, a few questions in the chat box. Okay. Diamond says, does this apply to courses? Absolutely, Diamond. Actually, this is one of the biggest things, as Robert was saying. I've created a lot of online courses. I've created over 150 online courses, and absolutely any course creator needs to be at events like that and build relationships and connections with the joint venture partners. Absolutely. Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah. And King Whale says, can I invite you to speak at one of our events in Ottawa in October? Absolutely. I mean, I can send you my personal email privately, and then we'll just take it from there. Okay. Then I'm more than happy to see if we can make it work, and I'll be happy to be there. Awesome.
All right.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
All right.
And with that, I look forward to seeing you guys all at Collaborate on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Even if you can come and join us for a part of it, that would be great. Denise says, is Collaborate for all businesses or for speaking businesses only? So Collaborate is not for speaking businesses per se. It is for experts businesses though. Like, so if you are a coach, author, speaker, program leader, it's a phenomenal business, a phenomenal place for you to be. If you have a bakery, or a brick and mortar business, or like a sandwich shop in a city, then probably wouldn't be the best business. But if you have an expertise where you are offering that expertise online, and you're generating income from that knowledge, whether as a consultant, as a coach, as a speaker, as a program leader, as an author, as a course creator, that would be great. And Casalinga says, okay, so as a catering company, not so great for us. Catering is a little bit different, and it only for one reason, because many of these coaches, authors, speakers, program leaders actually organize their own events, and they know organizations that hold events. So depending on who is going to be in that room and the connections, you can potentially ask for connections with people that may need catering needs, or can introduce you to people. Okay. And Cassandra says, so I can meet them there to network. Absolutely. So at Collaborate, everybody that is there is going to enter their name and information into a directory of attendees. We give you ample time to connect with each other. We have very structured networking sections. So we have education and networking sections, and all of that all in one place. So absolutely, yeah, that's the whole point, that you will be able to talk to them one by one, kind of like in groups of small groups, and then plan future conversations. Absolutely, that's like the biggest value of Collaborate, meeting with people. Okay, awesome.
All right. Thank you, Iman. Appreciate you. Good to have you here.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Robert, for having me here. Thanks everyone for showing up, being with us, and hope you go out there and implement these simple techniques. Make sure you have an offer, make sure you have a conversion system, and make sure you have a traffic source, and just implement that. Love you all. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.